Hello, my frisky ponies. How are you? Everyone, do a pony thing with your head. What do you call that? I don't even know. Bang your head against your desk right now. Parents everywhere are concerned for their children watching FJ, telling them to bang their head against the desk. What am I talking about? All will be revealed. First, today, look, Christmas just happened, right? I got this cool sweater. My mommy gave it to me. I'm looking fly. I'm looking dope. And I know it. And I'm ready to strut my stuff on the runway. And I got some other stuff too. And my hair... Anyway, I wanted to show off my new vinyl records I got on Christmas Day. And, because I'm a hipster, so I have vinyl. And there ain't nothing you can do about it. So, sorry. Am I recording? Yes, I am. So first, you guys know how much I like Paul McCartney. Like is an understatement. You know what I'm saying? I love him. So I got Band on the Run, 1973. Paul McCartney and Wings. There's the band right there. Paul, his wife Linda, their buddy Denny Lane. There were two more people, I think, in the band when they were going to start recording. But what happened was Paul said, hey, I want to record this in a really out-of-the-way place. So he looked up the list of recording studios that EMI had access to. And lo and behold, there was one in Nigeria. And he was like, let's go. These two other people in the band were like, nuh-uh, I'm not going there. So they quit the band. So just these three went down to Nigeria to record. So that means Paul was playing drums on this album, which is really cool. Denny played guitar. Linda played some synth. It wasn't all... I was about to say, it wasn't all Guns N' Roses down there in Nigeria, because they got held up at gunpoint at one point and got their stuff stolen, their demo tapes. I believe there was another point during the singing where Paul McCartney thought that he was having a heart attack and he went to the hospital, but they said, no, actually, you're just smoking so much. You smoke, how much do you smoke? 2 packs a day, and your throat is closing up. And what are you doing to yourself? So here's I'm getting way ahead of myself. This is the sleeve on the inside. It's got a picture of the band with some Nigerian children's. Then on the other side are the lyrics. Let's look at the vinyl. And a picture of the group. And this is 180 gram audiophile vinyl. I guess with the heavier vinyl, it sounds better. I don't know. The other cool thing inside of here is a poster. It comes with this poster that is, a bunch of Polaroid pictures of the band doing their thing, strutting their stuff in Nigeria as they were recording the album. Fun stuff. Maybe this will end up on the wall somewhere over here, because right now my room looks it looks like a single man lives here, because there's nothing on the walls. It looks like I'm in a hotel room, kind of, that wasn't decorated. Anyway, there's a lot of great songs on Band on the Run. And you know what? I had heard a lot of the singles, the hits off of this, like Band on the Run, of course. Anyway, please don't sue me. Please don't copyright claim this. Paul. Band on the Run is a great album, or a great song. Jet is the big other one. Let Me Roll It is a great tune. But a lot of other ones, I didn't really listen to this album until August of this year, believe it or not. There's a lot of great songs on here. Mamunia gets stuck in my head all the time. Picasso's Last Words goes on a little long, but it starts off good. 1985, a really great song. Bluebird is a song that I had known for a long time, but I hated it at first, and now it's grown on me, and it's one of my favorites. So overall, I highly recommend this. If you haven't gotten into Paul McCartney's solo career, get this. And for this and all the other ones, I'm going to put a link in the description if you want to get it on vinyl, CD, cassette tape, whatever you prefer. Secondly, another Paul McCartney one, except this one is from 2005. And the plastic, I left the plastic on because my greasy fingers, I don't like how it messes up the cover. This is Chaos and Creation in the Backyard, 2005. I actually got this CD in 2005, like right after it came out. Even though I wasn't really up on Paul's later career stuff, this is a really good album. Like, if anyone tells you that Paul's later stuff isn't good, they're wrong. Just listen to this album, Chaos and Creation in the Backyard, and you'll see, even at the age of 60, whatever, I think he was 63 when he made this album, it's great stuff. The first track, which I think is the single, Fine Line, is a really good song. Just check that one out. There's so many good ones on here. Riding to Vanity Fair is one of my favorites, probably my favorite off of this album. And then the last two tracks on here, This Never Happened Before and Anyway, are two great love songs, ballads that, you know, really end this album in a great way. So let's look at the inside. Inside we've got the sleeve with a not the greatest picture I've ever seen of Paul McCartney, greatest drawing. On the other side we have lyrics. And then on the inside we have the 180-gram audiophile vinyl with the purple label. Very nice. Or maroon, whatever. Don't tell me I'm colorblind. I know what I'm seeing. I know what I'm looking at. And then also on the inside, if this wasn't enough of a good drawing, there's another insert in here with some more drawings of Paul McCartney's hands. And it looks like I'm holding it upside down. It's not that great, the drawings, but it's cool. This is paper. It's just point out obvious details. This is how you make a YouTube video. Let's get that back in there. Now, lastly, you might see a pattern developing of Paul McCartney, but the last one bucks the pattern. I've never really talked about this on the channel, but I really like Coldplay. And so I got Ghost Stories, their 2014 album. I actually own all of their albums on vinyl, except for X and Y, which ironically is my favorite, and I don't have it on vinyl. So this brings me up to that point of having all but one. And this, I would say, is my second favorite of their albums. It's very, how do I say this? Most of Coldplay's albums seem to shoot kind of high. And when you go, I saw them live a year ago. You realize when you see them live that they kind of write their songs now for a big performance in a stadium, which really is cool. But when you're listening on a record, sometimes it doesn't translate. This record aimed lower. This record doesn't sound like it was intended to be played in a stadium. Now, of course, there's the big hit off of here, Magic, that I'm sure you've heard, as well as Sky Full of Stars, but the rest of the album is kind of understated. My favorite, I think, might actually be the first song, Always in My Head. It's a really great one. And True Love is another one that I like a lot, with a really cool guitar solo that's kind of weird. It's like, how do I explain it? It's only a few notes, but it's like the way that just listen to the song, listen to the guitar solo in it. You'll appreciate my recommendation. Now, of course, this album is all about Chris Martin's divorce from Gwyneth Paltrow, so it's a breakup album, and it's very sad. And if you are going through a breakup right now, this might be kind of a difficult album for you to listen to. I know I'm not sure I can listen to it right away. The saddest song on here is Oh, at the end, and it's a sad one. It uses a metaphor of love being like a flock of birds flying together, and one of the lines is, fly on, something, maybe someday I'll fly next to you. It's really sad. It'll make you cry. Here's the sleeve, cool artwork. We see some lovers here who are broken up and they'll never see each other again. That's really fun. And then on the other side, we have the album credits. Then on the inside, we have 180 gram audiophile vinyl. Pretty simple, you know. I highly recommend this album. I would say it's one of Coldplay's best. And I'm sure a lot of you are going to unsubscribe now that I said I love Coldplay. But I do, darn it. I dated a girl once who I went to that Coldplay concert with last year, and she and I had totally different music tastes. She actually was a guitarist in like the kind of metal band where they're like screaming the whole time, the kind of stuff I would never listen to. So she liked all this kind of bad music, whereas I like good music, but we crossed the Venn diagram of our musical taste, just barely crossed at Coldplay, believe it or not. Now, some of you are going to be mean and say, you like bad music too because you like Coldplay. Well, guess what? Guess what? That's all I have to say. Guess what? Now, while we're here talking about things that I received for Christmas, here's a couple things that might be more salient to the conversation about my channel. That we weren't having a conversation about your channel. Yeah, I know. Just go with it. First, this is Quiet by Susan Cain. It's about introverts. The power of introverts in a world that can't stop talking. This might be an interesting one to discuss at some point on the channel. And it's too bad I don't have the bed behind me anymore so I can throw it, because I don't really want to throw it on the ground. It might hurt the book. The second one is even more interesting, and I think you're going to like it. The Road Back to You by Ian Morgan Cron or whatever, and Suzanne Stabile. It's the Enneagram book that everyone loves. So we're gonna read it. I haven't even finished Gentleman in Moscow yet. I started it in August and I haven't finished yet. Or did I start it in July? Oh my gosh. Look, I'm still reading it. I haven't given up on Gentleman in Moscow, but I feel like I need to read that one first. I need to finish that before we go into this. But at some point, we're going to look at this. We're going to look at the Enneagram on this channel. Yeah, that's right, because I need content, darn it. And we're going to talk about some personality stuff in a different mode of operation than Myers-Briggs. We're going to look at the Enneagram a little bit. So anyway, that's what I got for Christmas. I hope you enjoyed seeing what I got for Christmas. If you're interested in listening to any of that stuff, perhaps buying the books or records, I'll link to it in the description below. And if you get it through there, you can support my channel in that way because they're affiliate links, so I get like a few cents for every dollar spent. It's amazing. It's an amazing world we live in. Anyway, I hope you have a good New Year's Eve and be safe, because safety is our number one priority. Until then, until whenever you see me again, stay cool and attractive.